All right, Platoon, fall in. It's the Joe and the Jarhead show. As usual, I am Joe, representing United States Army. With me, as ever, my friend
Jarhead.
There we go. Representing.
You always have some sort of quip to go with before Jarhead, so I paused to give you that quip. But
I usually just do the ooh ha ha, but I didn't feel like it.
You're not feeling the ooh ha ha?
I'm not tonight.
A lot of headlines. I guess we'll be talking about impeachment.
Impeachment.
Maybe a 2020 presidential race. Impeachment. Maybe some Charlie's Angels. Let's talk about Charlie's Angels.
Oh, could we just? I mean, I'd love to do this before we even get into history.
We better not. There's a lot of other stuff. We're going to be
right.
talking about Google taking over the world, some Russians doing some bad things. A lot of headlines tonight.
All right. I'm okay with that.
I really do want to talk about Charlie's Angels, though.
I know, so do I.
Let's get into history before we get
History
carried away.
first. All right. This week in history, 1963 was the last president to be assassinated. John F. Kennedy.
1963.
November 22nd, 1963, Dallas, Texas. The president who essentially got us into Vietnam was killed by a communist. Go figure.
Interesting. He was also a jarhead, wasn't he?
Oh, the shooter? Yeah. Oswald, Lee Harvey Oswald was, in fact, a Marine. Not that the Marine Corps would actually claim him.
We really don't.
He was a turd. He did like 3 years and got out. 9 days later, after he got out of the Marine Corps, he went ahead and went to the Soviet Union.
What?
Yeah.
What for?
Because he was a communist.
Oh, so
He tried to live there. He applied for Soviet citizenship. Married a Soviet chick, had a daughter.
Did it work? Did he live there?
No, they wouldn't let him in. Soviet Union was smarter than us.
He's too crazy for the communist country.
Right? So he came back and kind of bummed around and formed a bunch of pro-Cuba communist movements. Mm-hmm. And then on November 22nd, he was working at a book depository in Texas and shot the president. And
well,
people
he's
say,
blamed for it, right?
Yeah.
We're not concerned about the second gunman on the grassy knoll.
You know what? There's been a lot of conspiracy theorists out there, and maybe there was a conspiracy to kill Kennedy, but he did shoot a Dallas police officer.
Before or after?
J.D. Tippett. When the officer questioned him about the attack and smoked him with a .38.
So this was after the assassination?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting.
Well.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
He himself got assassinated too,
yeah,
right?
by Jack Ruby, who was like a mobster affiliate, low-level nobody, which is what really adds, fuel to the fire of the conspiracy theory. Mm-hmm. But whatever, couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Every president in my lifetime, especially on social media, you hear calls for like assassination. Like, this guy should not be doing this. He's too crazy. He's got to go. Someone take him out. Y'all know that's a felony, right? Like, to threaten the president. That's not something you do. That usually ends up with Treasury agents visiting your house. If it can happen to Madonna, it can happen to you.
Well, let's talk about that. Was that a thing?
Yeah, a while ago.
Recently, a while ago. What happened?
I guess Madonna tweeted something about, wanting the president dead or something like that. And
well, she talked about that in front of a pulpit, in front of a women's movement.
Yeah, she got investigated by the Secret Service, just like everybody else does. That fame does not exclude you.
That's crazy.
Yeah. There haven't been that many presidents assassinated for a reason. They're not supposed to be. We're supposed to have a peaceful transition of power. That's the whole point of the United States. Mm-hmm. It's worked uninterrupted for 244 years now.
Go us.
We're pretty awesome. Not going to lie.
You're dang right we are. Okay.
Who's next?
Let's get this impeachment stuff out of the way.
Impeachment?
I'm itching to start talking about some angels of the Charlie type.
Alrighty.
So they made it public now, this impeachment proceedings.
About time.
But Shifty Shift wants to take it back because he's getting his butt kicked publicly.
Yeah, as he should.
I kind of dig it.
Yeah, he's an awful human being.
Isn't he, though?
There's no redeeming qualities about that guy that I have found.
I have a question for you about him. So he's saying that the whistleblower is getting death threats.
That's interesting.
Yes, because we don't know the identity of the whistleblower.
Correct.
So I can't put those together. I got a crayon in my hands. I still can't connect those dots.
Hey, brother, if Adam Schiff tells you that water is wet, fact check him. I'm just saying. That dude it is amazing. He's the most compulsive liar I've seen since Bill Clinton. He is, as far as I can tell, he is a compulsive liar. He lies about things he doesn't even have to lie about. Like, there's nothing to be gained by lying, but he does it anyway. Like that.
He is
like
that
the
guy.
whistleblower's getting death threats. And you know this how?
Right.
Because I don't even know who the whistleblower is.
Nobody does. Nobody's supposed to know.
Just saying.
My favorite part is when the Republican people who are questioning these witnesses and they come out and they ask the most direct questions.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any evidence or knowledge about a crime the president committed? No.
No.
Did you witness? Did you hear that phone call? Were you there in that room? No.
All I can tell you is what I heard from somebody else.
Exactly. And that's all. Who's that guy? Oh, we got to get his name. The guy who said, you know what? Hearsay is sometimes more important than evidence.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh dang, we should have had that guy.
Yeah, that is a special kind of stupid.
Right.
That is.
He's a duly elected official in our Congress. He
I
said
know.
that.
I know.
He gads.
Right?
That's all I got to say about that.
Yep.
Okay, no more public impeachment. Let's talk about 2020 clowns. Because
Oh, please, could we?
some of the clowns have dropped out. But we got new clowns coming in, and
Not
it's kind of
nearly
fun.
enough.
It's kind of fun. 'Cause
Okay.
You got billionaire Bloomberg coming in.
Bloomberg. Yep.
And he classified himself as a what now? To come into the race? He's not an extreme leftist or a righty-tighty.
Oh, he's a moderate.
Yeah, he's calling himself a moderate.
Yeah.
Bloomberg.
This is the guy, by the way, who is the reason that New Yorkers can only have a soda this big in the movies. I'm just saying.
32 ounces is outlawed in that guy's city, y'all. And you can't
He's
make
the
this
moderate. He's the voice of sanity in the 2020 election.
Up. Oh, Bloomberg. And then you got this new guy. His name is Deval Patrick. So he's the former governor of Massachusetts.
Yep. Massachusetts.
He's coming in on the same flag that Joe Biden did. He's got no qualifications. Nobody knows who the heck you are other than you hung out with President Barack Obama. Right?
Okay.
That's all Joe Biden has going for him. If he was still just as nobody senator of Delaware, would anybody know who this guy is?
No.
Nope. He walks around with his little VP flag of Barack Obama. Vote for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's riding his coattails.
you're a coattail rider. That's exactly it.
And that's what this guy, Deval Patrick, is. That's all he's going to do. Plus, we've already got, isn't Booker out of New Jersey?
Cory Booker?
New Jersey, Massachusetts. They're all the same over there.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah.
And you got Elizabeth Warren. She's the senator from New Hampshire.
Mhm.
Crowded from the East Coasties over there. So I think we should mention that Pete Buttigieg is now leading in Iowa
Oh, good.
by a commanding lead. He's leading by double digits in Iowa over Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren. Bernie Sanders, he's
Well,
beating
that's
them all.
because he's 1/16 their collective age.
But tell me more. What more does this guy have going for him? What is he selling to the people other than I'm a homosexual candidate? What does he got going?
He was Navy, but I repeat myself.
Yikes! Oh, snap!
We're gonna have to edit that one out.
Oh man! All you sailors have my permission to go after Joe for that. I will be okay.
Other than that, he's a mayor. Definitely, if you're a small town mayor, you have the requisite qualifications for U.S. president.
That's kind of what helped put him on the map, right? Because he's a mayor in the state where Mike Pence, the vice president, was governor of. So he picked a fight with him, and that kind of helped put him on the map.
Yeah, that's all he's got, though, is he's a lot more radical than he lets on. He's a lot more radical than he lets on. he's very quick to invoke religion. He's very quick to say that God is on his side.
Oh, yep. Yes, he did say that.
Which, I mean, I guess would be true if you didn't ever, read the Bible. But sure, why not?
Or marry a guy of the same sex.
Did Kamala Harris drop out yet?
There's no way. Oh, man.
No, she didn't. She's still in it, and she's really, man, you talk about sour grapes. She's convinced that she's not doing better in the polls because America's not ready for a woman of color to be president yet.
And I tell you what,
it's definitely that. It's definitely not your absolute garbage campaign and your wooden personality and your hatred for seemingly everything.
Well, why wouldn't people want her to be a good candidate, right? I mean,
you want those in alphabetical order or order of importance?
If you could do that in alphabetical, I'd be pretty impressed.
Wow.
But she's dancing on the streets in Iowa while her own state is up in flames.
Yeah. You know what the difference is between California and the Titanic?
Yes, I do, but I'll let you go.
At least when the Titanic was sinking, the lights were still on.
Yes. You are, of course, referring to California having to shut off its own power.
Rolling blackouts, yeah.
Oh, snap. Okay, let's be done with all that garbage.
Okay, what do you got next?
I want to talk about Charlie's Angels. Can we talk about Charlie's
We can talk about Charlie's Angels. 45 to $55 million budget.
To shoot the movie.
Shoot the movie.
Okay.
Pay all the stars, get all the caterers, do all the shooting, all that stuff.
And that's not crazy, right? That's probably about average.
That's low nowadays. Like most of your movies you want to make, especially during the summertime, and then is, they're $150, $200 million films.
Dang.
You want your blockbusters, right? I mean, I get that you don't want to sink that kind of budget into a rehash of a third-rate 70s TV show. Mm-hmm. Got it. But, I mean, you want to talk about get woke, go broke. The 45 to 55, let's just say 45. Let's say a low ball estimate, like the absolute minimum. Right?
Did you just coin get woke, go broke?
No.
Is that your thing?
No. I'm not the only one to say that.
Oh, man, we got to hashtag that. Get woke, go broke.
Oh, yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's been making the rounds.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But, opening weekend is like $8.6 million.
That's what
like,
you get.
The Thursday night previews, that before opening weekend, it'll sneak in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, usually theaters cash in on that, right? Because everyone wants to be the first one to say, like, oh, I saw the new movie, right? And talk about it at work on Friday. Yeah, they made like 900 G's.
Oh, that's just
a
crying shame.
Yeah. But, I mean, when your whole premise is like, these girls are awesome because they're girls and spies.
I would argue that. I think because I've seen the previews. I have no intention of watching the show, but from the previews, the only thing I can see that they're trying to show is, let's see how slutty we can make these already slutty girls and how much clothing they can not wear in these previews. And that will help sell the show. Okay, Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
All over. Crashed and burned.
Crash and burn.
Get woke, go broke. I love it. Okay, I want to do my own history article now.
Uh-oh. What do we got here? What are we historicalizing?
Okay, so I want to talk about the president of Russia. You can do your own John Kerry voice now.
Oh, Vladimir Putin?
Yes. Thank you for doing that. Okay, so I want to take you back in time. Now, I know this is going to be kind of hard for you to picture, but I need you to do your best.
All right.
I need you to picture him shirtless
on
the back of a horseback.
Nope.
Come on. Okay, if you're watching this on YouTube, you will get a picture popping up right now of Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, shirtless on a horseback. You're welcome. That is a thing. So picture him shirtless on a horseback. He's galloping across his massive country. He comes up to a shore and he sees this fancy peninsula off yonder. And he looks back to his goons, and there's three of them back there. And for the sake of time, let's just give them letters for names. We'll just call them KG and B. Is that okay? Does that work for you? So KG and B, they say, yeah, that's a fancy peninsula over there, but you shouldn't look because it's caused a lot of problems with our country, so let's just turn around and go back. And he says no, and he uses his best Smeagol voice here, and he goes, we wants it, so we takes it. And he did. He did. And then KGB, and they speak up, and they go, no, you can't, it's going to cause a war, everybody. The whole Earth peoples, governments are going to be so mad, they're going to do things. And he says, no, they're not. What are they going to do? Not shake my hand?
Okay.
Yes. He predicted the future there because that is what happened. So he did. He started a war in February of 2014 to go get the Crimea Peninsula island. It's not an island. It's a chunk of Ukraine. So he started a war. This started in February of 2014, which is why this is a history. It was over in May. Well, a victory vote happened in May, right? So, and he got 90% of the vote saying, yes, Crimea is no longer part of Ukraine. It's part of Russia. So the reason I'm talking about this is because the war didn't last from February to May. It actually lasted the majority of 2014. But you'll probably remember on 17 July 2014, a plane was shot down.
Yep.
On this plane, there were no Americans. There were a bunch of Malaysians, Australians, and Britons.
Yeah, it was a bad year to fly Malaysian Airlines.
Boom.
Because it was that one and the one where the pilot just flew off into the ocean.
Yeah, got that one missing for a long time.
Still is.
Didn't they find chunks of it?
I don't know.
I thought they did. Okay, back to this one. So this one was flight MH17. It was a Malaysian air flight. 298 people died. What happened? Where was the international outcry of this? I'll tell you where it was. It wasn't. Nothing happened. What happened is exactly what I said. People showed up to G19, G20 summit, whatever it was.
Right.
And they refused to shake his hand. That's all we did.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. 298 people died. The reason this is back in the news is because we now have recordings. We have people on the phone, the Russian defense minister saying, yes, we need to shoot that plane down. Take it out. Those words were spoken by Russian authorities. We have them on the phone. So an international court, which is a nothing burger in itself, has been running an investigation for a lot of years. They've already had 2 arrest warrants out for people who already admitted to shooting down this plane, people who actually pulled the trigger. But then the other 2 people, behind the curtains, the ones who were on the phone call, they issued more warrants. And so a Russian authority came out and said, we reject those findings.
Yep.
You're on phone tap, dude. You can't reject. We heard you on the phone. What? We reject those findings.
It wasn't me.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
You're tapped evidence. Cold blood is on your hands.
Right.
Okay, so let's
Russia.
I'm gonna take you back.
What about this surprises you?
I'm gonna take you back in time. I'm not done because I want to go back to March 2018. Remember when that spy was poisoned in Great Britain?
I swear, if you reference him with his shirt off again, I will slap you in front of our audience.
Okay. Train of thought gone. March of 2018, the British spy, he was actually a double spy. He was supposed to be a spy for Russia. He was actually a double spy for Great Britain. Was poisoned, him and his daughter. Remember that?
Double agent, yes.
Double spy, double agent. Put your own spin on it, buddy. Okay, so we caught the Russian agents who poisoned them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We got them on surveillance footage. That's who they are.
Yep.
This is their names. We want arrest warrants. Send them to our country. Russia's answer to that? Oh, we don't know if they're even Russians. We don't know who they are. No, we do. We know exactly who. This is where they live. We have their bank accounts.
Mm-hmm.
This is their names. No, we don't know if they're even Russians.
Yep.
Joe, how do they do this? We reject those findings. We don't know if they're even Russians.
Who's sending these findings?
It's called the ICC, the International Criminal Court.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Part of the United Nothing, right?
Mm-hmm, nothing burger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have no power. They have no teeth. All they can do is issue warrants that the host country can either accept or reject. And when you get a kleptocracy like Russia, they will always reject it. I don't know who you're talking about.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Putin's got his boys back. That's always been his MO. That's how he's maintained power this long. That's why international committees are so terrible. Because nothing ever happens. Nothing ever gets done. Which, I mean, in the UN's case is a good thing because all their ideas suck. But, if you want them to get something done, the last time the United Nations actually did something was Korea, mobilizing their other countries' armies. That's about it.
So for me, when I think about this, and I think of America as a whole, and trying to be buddies with places like Russia, the thing that comes to my mind is, we know that as an individual, as a person, we don't need to allow toxic people into our lives. Even if they're friends, family, people you work with.
Correct.
You don't need to be unkind, but you don't need to accept that bitterness, that ugliness into your lives.
Correct.
And I feel like America is accepting that ugliness into our lives by allowing that to happen, by trying to continue to be his friend. And I feel like we're being overt about it. We're going the extra mile to try to be Vladimir's friend. He is crazy toxic, Joe.
He is.
Why are we reaching out for that friendship? We have no need for it.
Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. That's what I would be thinking if it was me. Like, I don't like this guy, but I sure don't want to let him out of my sight. I would be very friendly with him. I would keep him very close, and I would keep eyes on everything he did. And I would have a few nuclear-equipped submarines doing figure eights right off his coast.
Well, he's got those nuclear-powered, crazy Terminator submarines over there.
Yeah. Yep. Which is why those subs would basically just replace each other. And if anything happens, if that dude farts wrong, Moscow glows in the dark.
Okay, you may go with your article.
Oh, okay.
Unless you want to talk about Putin shirtless on horseback some more. I mean, I can't get enough of it. It's great.
Producer, would you mind if I just gave him 5 across the face?
He made knife hand at me. Blackie with my crayon.
So the UK, in their craziness, their one of their National Health Service trusts is set to deny healthcare treatment for those they deem to be racists.
Or bigots.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not kidding. The North Bristol Trust of the National Healthcare Service has announced that it will withdraw treatment from patients it deems to be racist or sexist. That's a thing.
Who's this? Is this?
This is one little section of the British NHS, National Healthcare Service.
Because
National
it's
Health
all
Service.
run by the country, right?
Right.
There's no
yeah,
private.
it's socialized medicine.
Yes.
But there's different sections of it, like you'd have like the Idaho branch of the National Healthcare Service. This would be the North Bristol National Health Service Trust.
Okay.
Patients will be subject to a sports-style disciplinary yellow card. Can't you just see some dude in a striped shirt holding up a yellow card? This is your warning.
You, sir, have been deemed a racist.
And then a final red card in which treatment would be withdrawn as soon as it's safe.
So they're still going to do the treatment, but then they'll, just won't give him his hospital jello? I don't understand. After the treatment's done?
Yeah, it's not spelled out.
Well,
Like the conditions under which treatment would be withdrawn are not spelled out.
yeah, of course not. You're not going to let people die.
Yes, they are. Absolutely they are.
Well, if you're talking about
They
socialized
already
medicine,
do.
yeah,
This
then
is
they
a
already
country
are.
where half the people are stage 3 or 4 cancer before they even get a diagnosis. Right? They're absolutely going to let you die. They're looking for any reason to cut money because when you have socialized medicine, you only have one pot of money and everybody has to get treated out of it. So there are panels who decide whether your life is worth saving or not. If you are a racist or a bigot, clearly that's a death sentence, right? You deserve to die for that. So they just, that life-saving operation you need, you're not getting it. Sorry, we've judged that you're not worth the expenditure of money. Here's some pain meds. Have fun.
Wow.
And the policy would not cover just threatening and offensive language, but also racist or sexist language, gestures, or behavior. More generally, as well as, I kid you not, malicious allegations. So if you say that the staff is doing something wrong, and they think that you said that because you're a bigot, guess what? You don't get treatment. Which is a problem because the NHS has had huge scale malpractice suits against it that they've initially denied. No, we didn't do anything wrong. We did. Oh, yeah, we did. We did something wrong. So if someone calls you out for practicing bad medicine, you can say they're a bigot and deny them health care. And by the time it comes out that, no, you were actually just doing bad medicine, man, that person's dead. Not like they can testify.
Got revenge healthcare now.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. All of this hated speech that they're saying, it can actually be on social media. They don't even need to...
No, you do not have to be in the hospital saying this stuff.
They see a Facebook post of you
Yep.
being racist.
Yep.
You're
done.
This is a key player. This is a world power in Britain.
Yeah.
They're allowing this to happen. And when we say we do mean the government as a whole. And when we say
Correct.
government as a whole, we are actually talking about the people as well, because that is an elected government over there.
Yeah.
So the people are allowing this to happen, allowing people to die in hospitals.
Correct.
It's kind of sickening.
Well, I mean, Britain was a monarchy, right? For thousands of years, they had a series of kings.
And technically, it still is.
It is a monarchy. It's
the
a
prime minister,
parliamentary monarchy.
They have the whole tradition where the prime minister gets elected and he goes to the queen and asks permission to be the prime minister.
Right. But I'm just saying these people are used to obeying authority figures.
Okay.
Right? We're getting that way in the United States, but the reason we are the United States is because we don't like following authority figures. We don't like surrendering our sovereignty to anonymous bodies of unelected people. That's exactly what this is. These panels, the panels they have over there that determine who's worth what, they're not elected people. You don't vote for them. They're just NHS. Good luck.
So I'm thinking that the so what out of here is honestly and truly, I'm not trying to be sarcastic here, but I mean, if you
that'll be a first.
Don't tempt me to. But if you travel there, if I'm there as a tourist and they see my Facebook posts, which are pretty right-leaning sometimes, are they going to deny me medicine if I slip and break my arm or something
Would
over
it
there?
surprise me? No, not really. I mean, your treatment would come out of the National Healthcare Service. It's not like you can go there and buy private insurance and go see a private doctor.
So in all honesty, would you advise the Platoon not to travel to that country?
I'd say at least scrub your browser history and delete some of those old tweets first. Because, I mean, Britain is an awesome country. It's really cool. It's part of Europe where all the history comes from.
They're supposed to be our best friends.
They're supposed to be. And they are. They are a good people. But they just have a crappy healthcare system.
Or a deadly one.
I mean, yeah, and I know a lot of Brits who love their healthcare system. Love it. But they also have never known the kind of healthcare that we have, where I can just go get treated. Whatever I have wrong with me. If I want to spend money out of my own pocket, if my doctor sucks, I can go to a different doctor and get treated.
Hoorah, America.
I can take it up the chain.
At least for now, until Elizabeth Warren gets elected in office, then...
Wow, you had to bring it back down with that downer. Appreciate it.
But I do have the answer for you, Joe.
Okay, what do you got?
What we should do for our healthcare system is just let Google run it all. I mean, they run everything else.
I'm automatically veto that, but go ahead. What else you got?
No, I'm running with it. Google's healthcare project is called Project Nightingale. They should not have used that name. I think it's blasphemous to pull out Nightingale for something like that.
To name it after Florence Nightingale?
Exactly.
Yeah, because she actually helped people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Google, you are not doing that. So Google, they are taking over your healthcare system. They are teaming up with a company called Ascension. Ascension is a healthcare organization. They have 34,000 providers. So you're talking hospitals, retirement homes, insurance companies, all of that, right?
Okay.
2,600 hospitals across the United States, 50 senior retirement homes where people are at. Okay. They make $25 billion in revenue every year. So these people are massive. They're huge. One of the biggest healthcare organizations on the planet, and everything that they have on you and me is now with Google.
Really?
So Google no longer is just limiting themselves to where I live, where I like to go out to eat, reading my emails, reading everything I do in my search history. They now need to have all the information on my healthcare.
Right.
All of my medical records.
Yep. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, right? But they have access to all that. Because
super frightening.
They need to know everything about you so they can predict your life. Because then they can sell you stuff.
And that's exactly where I was going. So I want to give an analogy here, because a couple of weeks ago, Jarhead, remember when Jarhead had Bell's palsy? Talking on the show with eye patch.
Yep.
That was kind of fun, talking on the side of my mouth.
Jarhead.
So, yes, that was fun.
It was fun.
Good times. So Jarhead takes his phone with him when I go to the doctor. And Google's tracking my phone because I had to get directions to the doctor's office.
Right.
So they know I was there. And when I was there, obviously Google now has records to my medical information, so they know that I got diagnosed with Bell's palsy. So I get home and I'm just trolling through Facebook, and all of a sudden I see ads pop up for eye drops. Say, hey, perfect eye drops for Jarheads with Bell's palsy. Well, that's super convenient. Facebook, thank you. I think I'll just buy that right now. no matter that it's made in a sweatshop from China,
Right.
and all the money's going straight to Google and not supporting anything that I care about.
Right.
It's supporting things that I am super anti against.
Right.
This is exactly what's going on. So when we are literally selling our privacy, our rights, I would even dare say our agency, our right to choose for convenience. This is what we're doing. When we allow something like this to happen, when we allow Google access to our medical records, and they didn't even have to notify us. They didn't even have to notify doctors or insurance agencies that this was happening.
No.
Got away with it.
Yep.
And we're okay with it because it's going to be super convenient for us. Because Google's just going to email us all sorts of remedies for having Bell's palsy now. Because that's going to be great.
Yeah.
And we no longer have the right to choose. Because Google's just going to tell us everything you need to know. And you're going to give all up your agency because Google made it convenient.
Nah, I'm not. I don't feel like it. I like my agency too much.
Well, I'm with you. I have spent the last couple of weeks trying really hard to de-Google my life.
Absolutely.
It's kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie. They do make it super convenient for everything in your life, right?
Yeah.
But when we allow this to happen, as a people, like we were just talking with Great Britain, allowing something like that to happen as a people, when we as a group, as Americans, allow this to happen, we can't be pointing fingers at the government anymore. We can't even point fingers at Google. We're the ones that allowed this to happen. As a group, as a people, as a whole.
Yes, but I'd say some of the blame does fall on Google because you don't set up something like this with the intent of just making this really cool, totally charitable thing for society.
Charitable.
No, you do it with an agenda in mind. You do it with, your company doesn't have like a 2-week plan. It has a 5-year plan and a 10-year plan and a 20-year plan. Mm-hmm. And part of that is, if you're a service provider, making yourself indispensable, making yourself so that the customer just keeps going to you. And sure, on the surface, it has a veneer of convenience. Like, you have your email through there. Hey, you know what? Let's look at what just popped up in my email is this thing from YouTube saying these are the videos that you'd like to watch based on your search history. Mm-hmm. That's convenient. Yeah, I'll check that out.
That's super nice of you.
And, Google's got my calendar. It's synced to my email. It gives me updates. Hey, cool. I can, I know what's going on this week. I know what's coming up. Hey, you should probably schedule a doctor's appointment. Hey, you should buy this for that condition you have. Well, what business is that of yours? Oh, and by the way, people who have this and this and this are statistically more likely to have this. And by the way, we've already made you the appointment.
With this doctor that we recommended.
Right. Nuts if you don't think that'll happen.
Agency lost, I think, right there.
Yep.
Well, that's kind of scary. Google's predicting that I'm going to get this disease, so they want to send me to this doctor. They predicted in the first place, so why wouldn't I go to that doctor?
Right?
It's scary,
and I guarantee you that the doctor that's just as good, that's closer to you, isn't going to show up in your Google results, in your search results, at least not ahead of the doctor that they want you to go to.
So the so what here is that this is bad news. We have to strive harder to de-Google our lives, mainly because when we talk about big government taking over our lives, it's not big government anymore. It's these big leftist companies, these big leftist nightmares.
This is not convenience. It's social engineering. Because when they're the only source of information in your life, they can tell you whatever they want, and they can block you seeing things they don't want you to see.
So much truth to that.
Do not surrender your agency. It's not worth it. Yeah.
Okay. That's so what out of that one. What we got next?
Next, we have the Santa Clarita High School shooter.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so it was a
what happened? That's not even really in the news anymore. What happened there?
No. So technically there were 3 casualties. It's out that I guess the shooter died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Okay.
Killed 2 kids and then used the last bullet for himself. What gets me about this is that, it's not in the news anymore. Why? Maybe because the shooter wasn't white. He didn't use an AR-15. He used a handgun, .45 caliber handgun. This doesn't fit the narrative of a typical high school shooting or a typical shooting these days. So it's already gone. It's the most recent thing I could find was from 2 days ago. Most of the articles were 3 to 4 days ago, and no updates since. And it's most of these are like puff pieces, like interviewing witnesses. Oh my gosh, I thought I was going to die. I felt so, vulnerable. Our teacher, barricaded us in the classroom. All that stuff. What I wanted to look for was, how did it happen? Right? How did this happen? Because this is California, y'all. Like, every gun control agenda item except for outright banning that the left wants is already in place in California.
They're already on the books. It's already law.
Yep.
Red flags, all of it.
Yep.
High capacity magazines.
Yep. So, he didn't leave any diary or manifesto or anything. He's not, part of any hate group, can't be linked to any hate group. He can't even tell you what political party he's registered to because he's not even old enough to vote. Right? It was planned. There's, social media evidence that says he was planning it. He had multiple guns in the home registered to his father as his dad died a while back. So tons of guns in the home. He only took one.
And they're all registered, you said?
No, actually they're not. There were several unregistered guns in the home. Cops don't know who those belong to.
Okay.
Unregistered guns in a home.
You'll never see that in Potatoeville, Idaho. I promise you that.
Nope.
There's probably not even guns anywhere in Idaho. I couldn't think of anybody that would have any guns here.
Brother, you're lucky I don't have a gun on me right now. So how did he get into position to do this? Well, security measures at the school. There's a resource officer there.
Okay.
And the school has a fence. Not only a fence, but there were supervisors monitoring school activity. And they have like a dozen security cameras.
Wow. And none of this prevented that, huh?
Well, they don't have metal detectors, so I mean, realistically.
Well, you said that out loud, so now that's a thing. Just give it a week or two.
Yeah. No.
But that is a thing at a lot of schools in California and New York, metal detectors in high schools.
Right. But already you see people like Kamala Harris and others like saying like, this needs to end. We need gun control now.
Why isn't the gun control you already have working in place?
What?
That's not working. What more gun control?
Yeah. Well, prior law enforcement background helped me out on this. So the way I figure it, unlawful possession of a firearm by a minor, unregistered or possession of an unregistered firearm, felony transportation of a firearm, transportation of a gun onto school property, unlicensed concealed carry, brandishing a weapon. That's 6 felonies before he even fired the first shot. He was willing to commit 6 felonies before he murdered people. So what 7th law, and that's just the ones I can think of. I'm sure there's more in California.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure of it.
So what 7th law would have prevented this? He's willing to break 6 laws plus murder, premeditated murder. What new law would have prevented this? What more law on the books would have stopped him from doing this? None. You cannot legislate evil. He was evil. They're trying to figure out how he got the gun because in California, you can't even buy a gun, any gun, until you're 21. In most states, it's 18 to buy a long gun, 21 to buy a handgun.
Okay.
In California, you can't buy any gun until you're 21 years old.
But his dad had him, right? In the house, you said?
Yeah, but they don't, whose gun was it? It wasn't registered to him. It wasn't registered to his dad.
Okay.
It wasn't registered to anything. How can you have an unregistered gun? Okay, there you go. Possession of an unregistered firearm. They can't even tell you how he got it.
And this is what bothers me because it's like you said at the beginning, this is not on the news anymore because it's not fitting in not only to the Democrats' agenda, but like I just said, the big leftist media agenda.
No,
it's not going to fit into everything they're pushing. So now the word we like to throw around a lot is shadow banning, right? So if you want to find anything on this, like how did he get those guns? Who is this kid? What drove him to this in the first place? Mainstream media is not going to have that information for you because it's not fitting in to what they want to brainwash us with.
Correct.
So the so what here is that we've got to regulate ourselves better of what we're watching, what we're inviting to our homes. Is mainstream media, it's like you said, it's evil. What they're choosing to show us and choosing not to show us,
Right.
we need to be scared. We need to have a more healthy approach to the way that we are consuming media,
Yes.
especially news.
Well, what this puts forth, what the article put forth, is that they think it's a ghost gun. Like he bought an unserial numbered gun frame on the internet and put together pieces to make the gun.
Okay, that's great. That goes back to your original statement. What seventh law would stop him from doing that?
You
What
can't
more are
have
you gonna
ghost
do?
guns in California.
Stay off the dark web, people.
I'm serious.
Like,
Yep, definitely. I mean, the gang members smoking each other in freaking Los Angeles, that will definitely stop them. Oh, man, I filed the serial number off this last week. Now it's a ghost gun. Guess I can't have that
it's
anymore.
illegal. Darn it all. No more murder for me today, guys. Sorry.
How many murders have we had this year here in Potatoeville?
0.
0. I'm trying really hard to think of a house within 3 miles of here that doesn't have a gun in it.
Good luck.
Yeah. More guns, less crime. It's weird.
Even if you do find that house within a 30-mile radius of where we're sitting right now that doesn't have a gun in it, I'm pretty certain, I'm going to speak with 110% certainty here, that the house next to it has a couple guns.
On either side, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
we're good. And even if it doesn't, you've got enough guns to supply most of Idaho, so we're okay there too. Your
Accurate.
producer
Yeah,
says it's true.
That's
so.
accurate, yeah.
All right. What are we going to learn out of this? Hashtag get woke, go broke.
Get woke, go broke.
That will never get old.
Oh, it really won't.
Okay.
Because the more, it becomes more true as time goes by.
Oh, man. Yeah. This whole woke nonsense.
It's fun.
That's a good word for it. All right. You got anything else?
That's it. You are awesome.
I'm
Thank
ready.
you for tuning in. Best audience on the internet. We love you guys. Platoon dismissed.
Get woke, girl, bro. Semper Fi.
Impeachment.
I'm feeling like ooh ha ha tonight.
Alrighty, well, save it for after the show. And off my property.
Usually you're the one that make it dirty. What happened?
Did I not just? Is that not just what I did?
How do you fart wrong? Is that a thing?
Brother, I work with you. You got nothing to say to me. You're the reason I have paint peeling off the walls in my office.
Your life would be so meaningless without me.
See, this is where we agree to disagree, right? I don't have to let toxic people into my life.
Shifty shift. Sucking it up. Okay.
You know it's Schiff, right? There's no T in the end of his name.
Shifty shift.
Schiff.
Shifty shift.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Was I saying shift? Shifty shift?
Yes,
All right.
it's okay.
We're going to keep it in the...
That's the least weird thing you've done tonight.
That sounds like a challenge.
No, you've already done it. It's Vladimir Putin with his shirt off. That's... Ugh.